Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome at this For Me demo. This is the first demo in English and on the On It Now label. On It Now is a group of Yoast IT, Improve, and Infravision, and we support, of course, For Me. So today we're going to show you the latest updates of For Me, and we made a selection of the new enhancements that are released in the past 3 months. Um, if you have any questions during the presentation, please put them in the chat because my colleague Sander van Zweden is also standing by to answer those questions via the chat. And in the end of the webinar, we will also ask you to, if you want more information, you can leave a note and then we can plan a one-on-one to give you more information on these specific topics. We have a very large list of enhancements that we are going to discuss today, 16 to be honest, and well, some of them are really nice, and I will walk you through the announcements. I will switch between my PowerPoint and For Me to also show you how it works in practice. And we're going to start first with I think a very exciting enhancement, and that's the AI feature that For Me released. And it's the first two features that they've released of a list of, I believe, 10 or 12 features that will come up in the near future. But it's also good to understand what the technology behind the features are currently, because that will change in the near future as well. So I made a small graphic on that, and it starts, of course, at the For Me platform, where you can install an app. It's the AI app, and the AI app has two functionalities currently. It makes a summary of all the notes that are added to a request. I will show you that later on, of course, and it gives you knowledge article suggestions. So based on the notes that are added to a request, it suggested how the knowledge article should be described and how the text in the knowledge article should be. But it's important to understand the functionality behind that, because the data of the notes is going to For Me, and there it's washed and all the personal data is ripped off, so to say. So only the necessary data goes to OpenAI in this case, and there text is being added or text is being rewritten, and then it comes back to AWS For Me, and then into the For Me platform of the customer. The data that goes to OpenAI is stored for a maximum of 30 days just for monitoring and abuse. Um, it's important to understand that For Me is working on an integration with other AI functionalities within Europe. So I expect in the upcoming months that will change in the backend. So no data goes to the US, but currently only relevant data is going to OpenAI and not the personal data. So that's good to understand what the functionality behind it is. But it's also interesting to see what the functionality can do, and then I will switch to the For Me application, and that's what you see here. And I said there were two functionalities within the AI, and that's make a summary of the notes that are added. And if you sometimes look at several requests, they have a long list of notes. This is not even long, but there are longer lists, and AI automatically gives a summary of everything that's in the notes. So that can be interesting if, for example, request goes to a vendor or which is already longer alive. So maybe it's registered somewhere at the beginning of the year, and you don't need to read all the notes to understand what has happened. AI makes automatically a summary, so that can save a lot of time if you pick up a request that's a little bit older. Also, what it says is that it gives suggestions for the knowledge articles. And if I take this one and I say knowledge article, uh, now you see that the AI is working. It isn't that fast as for me itself, because now it goes outside for me and then it comes back again. It goes through the flow which I just showed you, and it gives the supposed knowledge article. It gives the title which you can use, and if I click on the arrow, it applies it. It applies a description, and I can apply the knowledge article text. And in this way, it is easy to create knowledge article, but also the text is understandable for end users, and it's structured in a way that, well, everybody that reads the knowledge article can use it easily. So now I can say it is validated, and I can save the knowledge article, and then it is. Oh, I need to, of course, say it is for internal specialists in this case, and I save it, and now I have a structured knowledge article which is readable for end users. So the AI really helps with making text readable. In the near future, it will also will release other functionalities that help with, well, understanding requests. What is also being released is an example for a solution. So within a request, in the internal notes, the AI says, well, this is the possible solution for the incident, and you can apply that, and then you can solve the incident. But those are features that are coming up. This is already live, and you can activate it via installing the AI app via the app store, which is in For Me. And here you will see the For Me AI. Again, if you want to go deeper into this functionality, you can always contact us, of course. So that's one of the first things that we wanted to show. The second one, um, let's go to my PowerPoint again, is about case management. Oh, sorry. It's about case management. There was a lot of discussion within the FormU community if you talk about enterprise service management, uh, and the way accounts are configured within FormU. Up till now, it was kind of focused on IT. So there was a lot of functionality in there which only was applicable for IT and not, for example, for HR. And what they now released is a way where you can set the account in a more HR way or facility management way. And in this case, you can say it is a case management account, so to say, where a few things are left out. You don't have any categories like incident or a request for change. Impact isn't available anymore in those accounts. No completion reason. If you look at the IT account, then if you solve a request, then you also need to say what the reason of completion is, or workaround, or whatever. That's not applicable for HR, to be honest, so they left that out as well. And you can, well, set the service offerings in a different way. Um, and what is going live this weekend, it's currently in the QA environment, is that you can also switch off problem management, release management, and configuration management, which are also, well, parts of IT and not specifically, in this case, HR. Um, and I will show you how that looks like in For Me. And then we go back to the For Me application. And then I will go to the HR account in this case. And here you already see I created a request which has the category case, which is the only category that's in this account. If a request from another account is assigned to the HR account, then it still has the category that is originally assigned to that request from, in this case, an IT account. if the request is created within the HR account, which is set to case management, then the category is case management. And here, if I click on it, you see that, for example, if I completed it, there's no completion reason asked, which is normally the case. You see there's also no configuration item or whatever being asked. So it's quite a well, less fields for HR to fill in. How do you set this functionality? You go to the admin console, and you can go to the account settings, where you can say, I want to have an account has the case management functionality, and these things you can check or uncheck, which will be released this week into production, where you say, okay, we're not going to use problem management, we're not going to use release management, and we're not going to use configuration management, or one of the three. So this makes it easier for other departments than IT, so maybe facility as well, to use for me and to kind of speak the language of those specific departments. So that's another really nice feature which a lot of customers were asking for. Let's go to the next one, and I'm going to share my PowerPoint again. And that's transfer requests to other support domains. This is also a very interesting one, and which has a lot of debate before it came live. What you see currently, or what you in the past saw, is that somebody in the self-service portal registered the request, and the request goes to IT, and IT looked at the request, and they said, well, this is not for us, it should be a request for HR. Or facility management, or at least for another account. In that case, you could not transfer that request to the other account. The only thing you could do is kind of decline it and talk to the end user to ask them to register it again against the right service, which goes to the right account. But now, when this is released, you can transfer that request, for example, the standard IT support account, to the HR case management account. So you can reroute the request, and from there you can link the correct service instance to it, or a workflow, whatever, and then you can follow the service chain that is set up in that specific account. How does that work? And that goes via the forward functionality. If we go to a request, let's see, we go here. Well, I will switch to the IT. Sorry, go to the IT account, and I'll just pick one request, which I need to be able, of course, oh, sorry. You always see that, yeah, this one. I can use the forward button and say not reassign, but transfer. And I can choose the account which I need to transfer to. And I can choose which Europe IT. And in this case, the whole request is transferred to that account. And I could add a comment to it and forward it. And from that point on, the request is not in our account anymore, and in the other account, where they can link a service instance to it, or service, and then follow the service chain that is set up there. So also a request that is well, has a lot of people that wanted this request, and finally it is there. So let's go to the next one. And that's also an interesting one, note options. And this is, for me, is working on the usability of the tool. There are a lot of features coming up which help in using for me in an easier way. And this is one of them. And that's reply to a note and react to notes with emoticons. So reply to a note is also available in the self-service portal. It means that if there's somewhere a note in the whole trail which you specifically want to answer to, you can select that note and give a specific answer to that specific note. And you can also do it with internal notes, of course, but you can also do that with emails. So react to an email, and then automatically an email is sent as a response on that email. Uh, and another feature is react with emoticons. And if you do so, also the person that gave a note where you react on, he gets a notification that you notified or that you reacted on his notes. It's the same as in Teams, how that works. You also get a notification that someone liked your note or not. Um, and we'll show you how that looks like. Uh, it's quite easy because, well, it's very familiar. Also take just one request. I'll take this one. And here you can see I can reply. And you see this is an email that has come in. So if I do reply automatically, it creates an email to the person that has sent the email, and it also adds the text of the email into the email I'm sending. And I can say test, and this is a test. Well, okay, and I can save it. And now the email is being sent to Niels in this case. If I look at other requests, let's see here. It works the same, only not with an email. I can choose this one. I can say reply, and it gives you the text of the original note, and I can reply to that. I can change here something, so I can also kind of well, change the text or whatever, um, and add my comments to it. So this is also helpful if you have a request with a lot of notes and you want to answer a specific note that somebody else earlier did in the request. And the other one was the emoticons. I can say I can add a reaction, thumbs up, thumbs down, smiley, well, not so smiley, and feast and a heart. Well, I'm quite curious how many people use the heart, but we'll see in the future. But you can easily, well, react on notes this way, and the person, now in this case Howard Turner, gets a notification that I really liked his note that he added. So this makes it well, working quite easy again. So, and this is in the future probably more enhancements will be released that will increase the usability of the system. And now we go back to the presentation. Uh, and well, this is an interesting one as well. This one is currently not created with AI, but in the future will probably be incorporated in AI, because what does it do? You can set the or autocomplete and notification rules for the waiting for customer stage. So if a request is on waiting for customer, you can set how many days the first reminder should be added to the request, and that means that a note is added. Um, you can, well, go on and on. So in this case, 5 days, 10 days, 15 days, and you can say, okay, after 15 days, in this case, the request should be auto completed. So this will help we expect that this will help in solving issues faster, because, well, most of the time we're waiting for information of the customer. In this case, the customer is notified. We'll show you how that works in for me. And what I said about the AI in the future, AI will make sure that the text that is sent is appropriate for the request. So if you look at the notes and the incident that is registered, it will create text which is related to the request and say, would you please be so kind to add more information to this request, and give more context on the notification and the email. This is how you set it. You can add a notification rule, and again you can say, okay, it should be auto completed. What's important that it should be 6 then. What's important that an email template is set for this functionality, because it also sends an email with specific text, which is currently static text, text that you gave in upfront, but they're looking at AI to kind of set up the text which is more related to the request itself, so it becomes more personal. So linked to this functionality, you must create an email template, which you do here. So this will help, at least we expect, to decline the number of tickets that are open and waiting for customer. Let's go to the next one. Checklist in instructions. Yes, that's also, well, internally we're going to use that more and more. We have request templates, we have tasks, and in those request templates and tasks you can add instructions, and instructions help you to finish the task. It says what you need to do to finish the task, and now it's possible to also create checklists in those instructions, which can help even more finish the task. And it's always a discussion: do you make 3 tasks, or do you make 1 task with an instruction where you say, okay, these 3 steps should be taken, and this makes it easier to create 1 task with kind of subtasks in it. The checklists are also audited. That means that if I uncheck a box, I can see in the audit trail who did that. So if I'm certain that I checked it, and I did my job, and somebody else says, well, it is unchecked, we can see who's responsible for that. And well, this is of course also very helpful in larger processes and organization where you assign tasks to well, people that probably well, need a work instruction to do so well, and it can help them to finish those tasks. And here you see an example already. This is a request template. You have the instructions, and here you can add the checkbox of sorry, the checklist, and I can add all kind of steps that need to be performed before I close the request. These are not mandatory, so we cannot say, okay, it's mandatory to check those boxes, then you should add UI extensions. This is more kind of, well, checklist. If you need to make sure you saved it, you did your documentation, or whatever you want to do in the instructions. And if you can save it, then it's added. This is also for tasks, for workflow tasks and project tasks, where you, well, every field where you can put in instructions, you can use the checklist. Okay, let's switch to my PowerPoint again. And dashboards and reports. Well, for me already has a lot of reports in it, and it is increasing the number of reports. And you can add, of course, a dashboard with multiple reports. And now it's available to, on one hand, show the report in a table format, and you can add a text field to it, a rich text field, which is quite interesting, and I will show you how that looks like. Maybe some of you already saw it in the beginning if I open when I opened for me, because I had a report available in the in my home screen, and here I added the new text widget with our logo and some links which may be interesting for specialists to use or to have available for them. But of course you can also add text to explain a specific report. If I go to the dashboard part, um, and I, in this case, well, request management KPI, here you could see the widget I added, but I can add a new one, add text. It is added below the dashboard, and well, let's here, let's see if I can add it a little bit more. And now I can give an explanation to the report. We see an increase in the number. Well, you can imagine you can add all kind of text which maybe explains the graphic which is next to it. So now you can create a dashboard for your end users, and if you probably already know, you can schedule a screenshot of this dashboard to send it to the end users. So you can easier, well, explain the things that are on the dashboards, or you can use it, well, what I said, with a logo and links to make it a little bit nicer. Personally, I added an enhancement request to for me, and I don't know if they're gonna do it, to have AI create a text here which explains my graphic. So it maybe explains a little bit of trends and those things. I didn't have any reaction yet, but I hope that they will pick that up, because that will make reporting a lot more intuitive for end users, that they, or key users, that they understand what the trends are in the graphics that they are seeing. But this really helps, and of course the what I said, the table. If I take this one and I can say display as a table, and now it shows the, well, the graphic, but not in the graphic form, but in a table form. And of course, I can add all those filters and everything I could normally do. And in this case, you see the table. You need to scroll, and it shows the real numbers. So it's just an addition to the way graphics are shown in the reports. And we'll switch again. Let's see. Yeah, supported languages for self-service. For me, already has supported language or translations. You can set up auto-translate, where people can type the request in their own language, and then in the backend it's translated to the language that you set up there. And in For Me, we can translate all the request templates, etc., to a specific language. But what currently is the case, I can set my language in the self-service portal on Spanish, for example. And if we in the backend didn't translate all the standard stuff to Spanish, then, well, it doesn't work, because then it will show the preferred language. Now you can say in the self-service portal, you can only use the supported languages, because we translated those things in those languages in the backend, which can help in, of course, the usability or in the acceptation of a self-service portal, because, well, it is annoying if you set it to Spanish and things don't change in that language. Well, where is that situated? In the self-service design. By the way, this is also a new feature. This is now sorted in alphabetically order, which is really nice. I think, because I was always looking for where is the thing that I need. And there's a kind of menu where you can quickly go into the item that you're looking for. And in this case, I want self-service settings, and my supported languages. I can show here and say, okay, I want English, Dutch, German, French. Let's pick those four. And now those languages are supported. And if I make sure in the backend that I have translated all the request templates, etc., things that I put into for me into these four languages, then it is all synced with each other. Not a very large feature, but really a nice feature if you use multiple languages inside your organization. Update for specialists. These are a number of updates, which we'll go through. What we'll see is in the workflow tracker. I will show you in a minute. It's now more visible on in which stage the workflow is. Also for the end user, there is a filter in the inbox where you can see the unread request. You can customize your column, and that was up till 25. It's now up till 50. The column wide, the view is is remembered by the tool, and you can see in the audit trail that an email template is sent from which account. And we'll go through them step by step. Let's see. We go back to for me again, and if we go to the request, sorry, I'll go to my inbox, and you already know that the phases of a workflow are visible for end users. Take this one here in the bar on top of every request. These are the phases of the workflow. If we look at the workflow, then it is split up in the specific phases, which you can add here: assessment, approval, implement, closure, and an end user sees in which stage the workflow is. In this case, assessment. This is also shown in the self-service portal, so it makes a little bit more clear where the workflow is. If we go to the inbox again, you have a filter which is called unread, and in this case, yes, and it now filters all the requests that I didn't read yet. So it helps me. Well, same as in Outlook, it helps me in not forgetting to read specific requests or answer them. Increase limit of customized columns. In For Me, you can customize your columns if you want to. Let's remove the filter and customize columns. Now I can add more columns. Well, in this case, I don't even have more, but this can be done up till 50 now for specific records, and maybe in your CMDB or other functionality you need more columns. The width sorry, is remembered. So if I make sure that status I want to read every time, and this one, it For Me now remembers that I set up this width of the columns. Show account of email templates and audit trail. Yeah, I wanted to show that in the demo environment, but it doesn't send emails as notification emails. That's what we're talking about. If you register a request, then an email is automatically being sent. And a lot of customers were struggling and where are those email templates situated? Is that from the IT account or for the HR account? And now you can see in the audit trail where the email template is sent from. So that should give you a more insight if you have troubleshooting or whatever. Okay, this was in a short time period. Oh, I have to switch to my PowerPoint again. Let's see the PowerPoint. This is well, in a short time frame, 16 enhancements. There were more enhancements, of course. We just picked out the things that we thought it was interesting for you. If you didn't already register, um, please register via the community.forme.com. And there you can register yourself, and then you can receive every week the development update. And of course, you can subscribe for this webinar where we present the most important enhancements. I also want to ask you to, if you want to have more information about one of these enhancements or maybe other questions that you have, if I'm correct, there's a button inside the webinar now where you can click on it, and then we'll know that you need some more information or you want to discuss some things with us. And after this webinar, we send you an email with the presentation and also the possibility to react to well, maybe discuss further possibilities of specific enhancements. I really would like to thank you for your availability, and I hope you were inspired to maybe new functionality and use that functionality. Again, thank you very much, and have a nice day.